5-man Nar by Lai will not result in anything as we get there very naked. Ruben trying to go for Mexico, but he will get taken down by that contact. He will get down Art. Will they go for him instead? Go figure has goes into low, but the backline there is suffering.
Nicely done. Bubble that the two-man bubble. They all had it. A lot of damage now. But that's no one dead. That's two members dead from AEX. And now, oh, there comes the tidal wave. And the lane is run by it down to X. Great. That's the attack. He's covering. That's the covering. Very explosive damage. Drafting into a ton of shadows. And then inside, inside, as well.
What the chest? Yes, what he has done. Very aggressive superior, getting very low. Full kitty. Oh, first blood for Lloyd. Will he be able to get out? Kill has been bumped.
Ash will go down.
Ash will. She will go down.
Yeah, but it's kind of awkward. Lloyd just gets swamped from the Psycho as we call it here.
But what the chest also, he will get excited and take some
Oh,
with Inane.
Here comes the H now. Collapse on the Becky.
Ultimate Rosora Becky not able to burst down. Lloyd will go down once again.
Look at Lloyd, he's ready through.
Oh, with
Okay.
G4 and second engage.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's a quick. Nice.
one
And the flash knockup from second. Will secure the kill for G4. Hey, that. Wow, they did burst down Chopper. Andre almost going down. Also, Cannon has been needed to power. And Jen. Oh, Tatsu 3. Man, Glacial Prison. Jen on a rampage. Taking out Andre. No tidal wave. Double kill onto Poké. Chopper in this on, but they're going to go hard onto Ocean 11 here. Tidal wave has to use Polka. Going down. AX Jenny is gone. Light. He has a double kill onto Andre. He is very excited now. Ruben has killed Tatsu, but in the back is Cannon. Triple kill for Jen. Supernary left rocket, but no. The Glacial Crystal will match. They did get the Baron. Oh, but there again, the excitedly taking out Polka. Oh, grouped up. That's a nice crit. Very good by Jenny. Double kill. 2-4. Taken down by Kirkland here. There he is taken down by Cannon. Wow, that is 3 kills. Double kill for Jenny. 4 for 0. The Jumper, the only one alive. And it's a triple kill.
From the there's also the R onto Kra, and Kra will use the force tank, make that the point bullet team. So 2 members are gone for the side of the season. They're putting up the Megatron Glow, thanks to Megatron Glow. No, one last flash. Oh, that bomb. Wow, here comes the easy, and just like that, they know they can pull up the combo though. Ozara ready gets Energy goes will secure that one, but in the back, live for live, as opposed to the Conqueror. BBC according to second bullet, will that correct? Will the fourth bullet? Yes, it will be. The Compacto with what? Psycho Joker gets separated here. Psycho Joker's here. Warzone gets pop. Ultimate being given a celebrity after the response celebrity will kiss the ground. That is the third coming in from back of Tyrant. Here comes Lissandra. Where will he put the ultimate? He gets go to the protagonist member. That is one gone for back of Tyrant. Now he's just about here under Tyrant. As the number pulling up, gets the kill onto the enemy support now. The chase is on onto Lloyd, and you can see the permanent. As you can see how G4 tries to bait out the members here of Psycho Joker because they use the throw, gets isolated, and Celebrity gets the last on Celebrity, sees the opening, but still he is at it, no
But you know, when he gets the shot onto the members of that one, that was absolutely really
clean up from Celebrity.
Exactly, and you know, really got them into a position where
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Garena Premier League Summer 2016. Last game was quite unfortunate for the Philippine viewers out there, but let's move on to Game 3, which will be Saigon Jokers with Kuala Lumpur Hunters, who are both 3-1.
Yeah, so we're actually going to go straight pretty much into the pick and ban phase. No time to wait. We'll take a look at that. Wow. Okay, we're clearly late. But we'll take a look at the bans coming in from Saigon Jokers and KLH, possibly the two strongest teams pretty much in this whole league. So that's Trundle, Kasad, and Syndra being banned on the side of SAJ, and then KLH banned Gragas, Shen, and Sivir. So what do you have to say about these bans?
KLH's bans seem pretty standard. The Shen has been showing quite a lot in the Southeast Asian games. On the side of Saigon Jokers, however, Syndra, KLH's Syndra was amazing yesterday. So much burst potential and combo as well. The Cassin, of course, very powerful in the hands of Azora Vecchi. The Trundle is, of course, a very flexible ban, so it applies to a lot of lanes. The comps, though, seem pretty standard as well. What do you think?
Yeah, let's take a look. So, looking at Saigon Joker's comp, they were able to secure a crap load of power picks from this meta. Grabe.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, they got the Echo for top lane. That's going to be Karma, Ashe for the bot lane, and then Vlad mid, Hecarim jungle. So, that's because of all of the bans. Like, a lot of the bans that KLH had weren't enough, obviously, to take away all of the power picks from the meta. So Saigon Jokers did a pretty good job of creating a clearly what looks like a very strong engage in team fight composition. They have a lot of speed boost and engage. Obviously, Karma and Ashe will be working together. And then Echo and Hecarim with a follow-up pretty much for a straight-up dive composition. Meanwhile, KLH looks like they're building similarly. It's also a team fight composition, but we're probably looking at more at their Siege, because they do have the Braum and the Jhin, and then the wave clear from the Victor as well.
That's true. There's a lot of wave clear and flexibility coming from the top lane as well. They can kite it out with a Mininar with them, along with the speed boost that they get from the rest of their kit. And when they go in a Mega Gnar, they can just go in and engage. But it's all about the timing, when you pull the trigger and where you aim it. So this game is going to be explosive for both of these teams.
Yeah, I'm actually looking really forward to the team fights for this game. Like, again, we want to remind you guys that these two teams are pretty much the strongest teams, at least so far. They've shown up a lot during the games. They're pretty much the top two who will be moving to the semifinals this coming Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to this game. This game would be pretty much a sneak peek of how strong C is pretty much so far as a region. I mean, definitely compared to the other regions, C is quite behind. But SAJ, for example, and KLH, they're looking to be on a different level compared to the other four teams we have there in this league. Although, to be fair, BKT did beat SAJ and showed up much later. So, for all we know, when we get to the semifinals on Saturday, they could be much more powerful than they appear to be during the beginning, since AEX did beat them in Game 1.
Yeah, BKT had a really slow start, 0-2 in day 1, and then I bet their coach was like, "What are you doing?" And Game 2, they're just like,
slap,
okay,
slap, slap, slap.
Let's go Super Saiyan, and they go straight for 2-0 for wins in day 2. And then right now they beat Kanaya Gaming, so they have that momentum going for them. We have loaded onto the Rift, and look at that. The Ocean Drake will be our first dragon for this game. So everyone is just going straight. Oh, that's a High Noon Jhin.
Yeah.
So we'll pretty good skin right there.
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of Jhin in this tourney, so we'll see if he'll be able to be successful compared to the other players. But let's have a roll call. So for the blue side, there's going to be the Saigon Jokers from Vietnam. That's going to be Ro in the top lane with Echo, Han Yan in the jungle with Hecarim, Warzone in the mid lane with Vladimir, and then it's going to be Celebrity and Su with Ashe and Karma.
On the red side, however, is Kuala Lumpur Hunters. And for the top lane is 13 Ghost on that Gnar. For jungle is, of course, Caspiel on one of his favorites, the Rek'Sai. For the mid lane is Azora Vecchi on that Robotic Victor. For the bot lane duo is Cool Kitty and Superior on that Jhin and Braum combo.
The puns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, playing around. We're going to see, I think, pretty much standard lanes for this game. Keep in mind, guys, for the next 3 games, we're going to be passing, or rather 2 games, I think, 2 or 3 games. We're going to be passing it over to Garena Sam. I believe he's going to be casting for the next few games. But for now, we'll be casting this one. And we're seeing, again, so for the team compositions, probably the most important thing, like we said, is how they're going to be able to scale. Especially since we have pretty much mid-game power spikes here for most of the members. Like, for example, Vladimir is really looking to scale late, Victor's looking to scale late, so this mid lane gonna be pretty boring since they're gonna be pretty much farming throughout the phases of the game. I think most of the focus in this game will be on the junglers and how they help out the lanes, because these two junglers will be pretty much setting the tempo for the rest of the game, pretty much, because a lot of the lanes are pretty even for the most part.
Yeah, for the games of both of these teams, the jungler has been one of the most impactful roles. Caspiel, if he gets a lead, he will go straight for the damage Rek'Sai, judging from the previous games.
Yeah.
And judging from their jungle pathing, it seems that they will focus on the bot lane. Both teams have quite immobile AD carries. Easy pickings for the Hecarim and the Rek'Sai if the position and timing is right. But we'll
That's
see how
very
all
true.
of that fares. Right now, just kind of have a little bit of trading. You know, 13 Ghost going to catch a little bit of that damage from the Echo, but he does have the Doran's Blade and the potion for that little bit of sustain.
Very true. Again, I'm looking really forward to the team fights in this game. Again, seeing the top, probably, at least, let's say the top 3 rather, BKT, SAJ, and KLH. I'm really excited to see them fight. So for this game, seeing one of the top, 2 of the top 3 teams in Southeast Asia, I'm really looking forward to who shows up more in team fights. Because it's really fun, obviously, to see high-level team fights. We saw the game earlier between AEX and Vestigial, and I think that AEX has a lot to learn in terms of team fighting. Because in the lane and with jungle pathing, you know, they're all right. But when it comes to positioning themselves in team fights, I think like I feel like there's a lot more for them to learn. So I think SAJ and KLH, hopefully they'll be able to display good team fighting during this game.
That's true. Southeast Asia is a very competitive region.
Yeah.
As we saw earlier, there was lots of 2-2s and there were 3-1s.
Yeah.
So basically, almost everyone is on the same high level of play. But yeah, you said AEX needs to learn a lot from these games on team fighting. I bet they could take notes from Imperium Pro Team on that. A little bit of scrims, a little bit of studying together. But earlier you see that the jungler for Saigon Jokers made a little bit of a tempo play there.
Yeah.
Going straight for the recall after his blue buff and getting boots, boots and the pink ward, setting up a lot of vision and mobility for his team there.
Yeah, actually, Rek'Sai was able to invade to get the red, so that's a good job from him. Actually, if we look back at the previous games where Tamsu was using Rek'Sai and his opponent would be Hecarim, I felt like he wasn't aggressive enough because when we look at the Rek'Sai-Hecarim matchup, Rek'Sai is obviously, he offers a lot more pressure during the early game, and when you're against the Hecarim, I feel like that's something you should be taking advantage of because Hecarim does take a while. You know, he has to get the full jungle item plus the Trinity Force, which obviously takes quite a while.
A lot of gold.
But
yes, he is a very item-hungry jungler.
Exactly, and I feel like Tamsu can learn from that because I feel like he wasn't his aggressive self that we know him for the most part of this GPL.
That's very true. But now we're back here in the game. Seems like not a lot has happened. They're not yet going for any big plays. They're not pulling the trigger yet. They're just biding their time, waiting for their junglers to set them up.
Yeah, so we'll see so far. Again, yeah, things pretty even though Ro on his Echo does have a very slight CS lead along with Celebrity, who also has a slight CS lead. Caspiel actually getting very low there. That blue buff is going to be given to Zora Veki on this Victor.
Yeah, Zora Veki will benefit a lot from that blue buff, allowing him to stay in lane a lot longer, trade a lot more often. 13 Ghosts, however, will have a little bit of trading here. Ro actually loses the trade,
Oh
and he's
my.
chasing him down. He does have the corrupting potion though, so if he wants to get back in there, taking a lot of damage from that. On point with those boomerangs.
Yeah,
there.
and that's despite having Sheen too. He already has the Sheen actually. Just used the TP to back just in time, but there's the stun almost reaching. Oh my.
Man, the gank. But very, very good leap there coming from 13 Ghosts.
Whew.
The position there was perfect. His devastating charge would actually push him backwards, allowing him to escape.
Yeah, so almost a kill there.
Yeah, but the jungler seems to be converging here in the top lane. Paying attention there.
Oh, Caspiel.
Will try and get a little bit of
Oh.
there. Oh, they're going, and they actually does not get a stun, allowing Caspiel to escape. And now they might actually try and disengage, and there's a little trade there in the bot lane. Wow, okay, actually, I think Hanyan saved Caspiel there.
Yeah. Actually, that was a bit.
Pushing him out of the parallel convergence.
Yeah, actually, that's at least the burn flash on Ghost. So I would say SAJ does have the upper hand there since they were able to burn the flash for the Ghost. Ghost does have a shorter cooldown compared to Flash, so Ghost gonna have to play a bit safer. Echo actually has the CS lead here, so despite losing the very bad trade we just saw earlier, he actually is up in CS, so he'll be able to back. Although actually without the TP, Nar might be able to push in this lane. But looking at bot lane, Celebrity's getting a nice CS lead here against Cool Kitty.
Yeah, forcing the Jin to last hit under the turret is really hard because of his ammo mechanic.
Yeah.
So the long reload times make it so it's very hard to last hit anything, mostly caster minions, once your ammo is up. But now I think the lane has pushed back a bit. And it seems like Ro will not miss a lot of CS coming from that recall. Actually picks up a Dark Seal, very confident in his ability to trade often. Plus, when combined with a Corrupting Potion, gives him a lot more sustain than usual.
Yeah,
there's a little detail.
That's a tip for you, solo queue players out there. Dark Seal, you don't always have to turn it into Mage Eyes. You can actually use it because it does have a boost on your potion's effect, so it can help you to sustain in the top lane.
Yeah,
But
it's a
meanwhile,
very good sustain item combined with these huge charge potions.
Yeah.
Like, you can even, no, I would not recommend getting with the Hunter's Potion if you're a jungler.
I was
Definitely
thinking
not.
that. I was
like,
thinking that.
Maybe I shouldn't teach that to players.
Spreading lies.
Oh
is my
no.
goal.
And then people will be on solo queue and be like, Atlas, you set us up.
Oh, you never know. Someone might bring it out one day, but Warzone trying to push in onto Azora Veki. So far, no early ganks from Caspiel due to the vision that SAJ had in this bot lane. And Ro still trying to push in. There's
Going
going
for
to be
the
third dive.
Turning Ghost does not have his leap anymore. Actually burns the onslaught
Ooh.
shadows. Get the first blood and the chrono break to get out there, get out ahead of dodge there. Caspiel dodge. That's a lot of damage coming from Warzone and Ro. That's a very good dive, getting them ahead at least 700 gold.
Yeah, that's the Sheen there, doing its work pretty much in that team fight. Once they hit the level 6, Ro was very confident to dive the turret because he knew that he could ult out, and then Han Yan, even without the damage items, actually they're able to really take down Ghost because he wasn't in Mega Gnar form. So that was probably pretty much good communication from SAJ. They knew that the bar was down, so they knew that they could engage pretty much. And Celebrity taking a lot of damage.
Strange curtain call.
Yeah.
Usually use it as, well, a curtain call to finish off
yeah.
kills, but there uses an opener without any follow-up from Superior.
Yeah,
That's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right to open up with it if someone else is helping you to engage on the bot lane, but that was really awkward because Jin did it pretty much, point blank without anyone to engage along with him. Braum wasn't even level 6 then, so he couldn't slow them down and ult them with the Glacial Fissure to secure a kill. So that's going to be a missing cooldown for KLH, especially since this Dragon is up. Without that curtain call, maybe SAJ can take advantage of that and try to take Dragon.
I think the Rift Herald might be a more dangerous objective here because the Ocean Drake does not benefit both of these teams as much as, say, a Mountain Drake or an Infernal Drake. The Infernal Drake would be like gunpowder. It would be explosive for both of these teams, seeing how much teamfight-oriented champions they have drafted. So far, though, still not a lot has happened except for that first blood. The junglers really are biding their time. They know when the time is right, and they know when to gank. Like in that top lane, they knew the power spike coming from Ro, and they just dived 13 Ghosts while he was in Mininar form.
Yeah, we can see your bot lane's buying a lot of time too. Awkward. Yeah, I'm guessing we're experiencing some technical difficulties with the Singaporean server, but
look at that! Look at those minions having a dance fest.
Yeah, what are they
the
doing?
Left side and the top right of the screen. Gotcha, Gasm.
it's a dance-off.
It's a dance-off between minions. Who will win?
Blue versus red.
Yeah, my bet's on the red team.
Valor versus Mystic.
Oh.
Which side are you on, man? Which side are you on?
Valor, definitely. I like how
see.
instincts just nowhere.
Candela versus Blanche.
So we are back in the game.
And we're not anymore.
That's true, but it seems like bot lane. Hanyan will be setting up for a gank here in the bot lane. But
yeah, I wonder who wins.
Yeah, I wonder who wins.
We can only imagine. So let's try and roleplay this team fight. How would it have gone? Hanyan, he's right here. I can imagine he was gonna try and walk behind them. He doesn't have the flash though. It's a ghost. But he does have the ult, so he can ult forward.
And then
push
the
Jin
would push them
toward
inwards towards Celebrity
Yeah.
and Karma.
Yeah, that would actually be really painful, CC. Though superior, pun intended, he did have the ult. So if ever Hecarim could have gone in there, he could have still put down the ult to disengage. But I think Jin would have died there, you know. After the Hecarim ults in and then pushes you in, plus the Ashe arrow ult, there's pretty much no escape from that. Even a Glacial Fissure can save you from that.
Yeah, that's true. The value from ultimates is on the side of Saigon Jokers there. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow, you can do that point blank.
Yeah.
The Onslaught of Shadows as well. Plus, the Karma's Mantra abilities are really, really potent. On the side of Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they don't actually have the Curtain Call, and you can't use that point blank.
Yeah.
Seems like that gank really didn't.
Yeah, I guess they weren't able to execute that.
We both lost the bet.
Yeah, I'm actually quite sad. I thought that something serious was going to happen there, but they were able to get away with it. 10 minutes in with a slight goal lead on the side of the SAJ. I believe that's because of top lane, pretty much.
The top lane 700 gold boost really
Yeah.
helps the rest of the team. And the distribution of gold there was pretty good. The gold went to Warzone and to Hanyan.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a really good boost, especially to the Hecarim, who wants his item spikes as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, looking at KLH, we shouldn't be surprised that they're looking not so good during this early game, because of course, as you guys know, Victor and Jin do take some time to scale. Usually wait for one or two
here
items.
comes Hanyan though. Holo instantly half health. Azora Veki and Warzone is just wailing on him with his blood, and now Caspiel is alone with the damage coming from that Tiamat. Does get Hanyan out of the fight, and that is a 1-for-1.
Yeah, 1 kill per mid laner. So I guess that's a pretty even trade as far as things go. Though Vlad will be able to push in this mid lane, so he will have a slight. He will be able to catch up in CS. Actually, that was Hecarim that got the kill, not Warzone, was it? Was it?
It was actually Warzone.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that's
okay,
two
okay.
kills onto him, which should
yeah.
put him in a little bit of lead to Azora Veki.
Yeah. So that'll be
And
a pretty
now
nice
that
bonus
CS has
for him.
equalized.
So we'll see slight gold lead still for SAJ. And Dragon is actually the next objective here. KLH have already placed Vision down in the area, so we'll see if they'll be able to secure that one.
Seems like they really are setting up for this. Tau is caught out there, but not a lot of consequence. Ooh, that hurts. Warzone taking a little bit of damage, but seeing as he is a Vlad, that should be sustained back. But he will recall, so that point's moot.
Yeah, both TPs are actually up for the two top laners. So if ever there's a Dragon fight, both of them will be able to respond. Although I think if a Dragon fight does happen, SAJ does have the advantage because they do have the Ashe and Karma, which is a stronger bot lane compared to Jin and Braum. Victor and Jin, not exactly the strongest at 12 minutes into the game.
Yeah, definitely
They don't really have the core items yet.
And 13 Ghost needs to time his rage well for this Dragon fight. So that's the advantage for Saigon Jokers as well. They have more freedom on when they want to start the Dragon or engage onto the Dragon. Now a few pings going here and there. They're just dancing around the river here.
Ooh, and actually,
Hanya going into a spin fight, but Hanya is already at half health. And a Caspiel as well, but he has a regeneration from that rage he has accumulated.
it's like watching a Beyblade battle. Hecarim versus Rek'Sai.
It's like
Beyblade.
Dragoon versus Dranzer.
Yeah.
In the end, though, both junglers will return to their very respective territories.
Yeah,
Now
looking
Caspiel
like
might be setting up for ganking in the top lane, but he is caught out by that ward.
Ooh, actually, Rose just hiding there. I think he's waiting for a possible engage, but he saw Caspiel was there, so he's probably not going to go for that. Yeah, he's going to move back over to his turret. Actually, Victor walking towards top lane now, but he will move back because there is a ward there in that bush.
Ooh, multi-ward destruction here in the bot lane. Catching out both of those at once with one red trinket. Now Ro getting pushed into his own turret. And push it back. So far, not a lot of action after those dives. Here a little bit of trading in the mid lane. A little bit of vision control here in the bot side.
I'm actually wondering why SAJ is not engaging yet. Like, they actually have a lot of their ults already up and they can actually engage. Although, to be fair to them, Trinity Force isn't up yet for Hanyan, so maybe they're waiting for that item spike before they decide to go all in, since Hecarim And Vlad do take some
Caspiel actually
time.
gets that blue buff denied from the from the tunnel there, and now he's on the run. Has to flash. That's a huge flash there. Good use of the wall to extend the range of his own flash.
That's a blue buff for Flash. We'll see how worth it that was to steal that blue buff there. Although Dragon and Rift Herald are both still up.
Yeah, they're still. It's 15 minutes, almost 15 minutes, and those objectives has not been the center of attention. I think if those were either Infernal or Mountain Drakes, we'd see a lot more action here in the bot
That's
lane.
true.
But seeing as how that Ocean Drake, the RNG has favored water, it seems like both of these teams will just bide their time in building up their items.
That's
But
very true.
yeah, with the point earlier you said about Hanya not pulling the trigger because he doesn't have the Trinity Force yet, he has to be mindful.
Yeah.
Because if he pulls the trigger too late, that might be where Zoraveki and Cool Kitty also get their spikes.
That's true.
So he may have to make a play sometime soon, but with all the pings coming on the map, that might actually come in the next few minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes in. Though we did expect the laning phase to take quite a while, because like we said, most of these champions are late game scaling, except probably we
they might be
make
setting-
Echo and Ash an exception from that.
They
We
might be
might
setting up
see,
a dive here because there's 4 people going down. Tao and Celebrity know what's up. They back off nicely. But it seems like they're actually staying around the area. No response so far coming from either the jungler or the mid laner, but it seems like Warzone is slowly getting there. And the TP as well.
Oh!
Zoraveki gets hit by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but where is the red? Row is there for the engagement. Gets bursted down almost instantly. The Chrono Break saves him. Now Hanyan and Warzone are on the assault. Caspiel on the run, but the rest of the team is there for the line of defense. Cool Kitty gets chunked down for a bit. Now both teams are retreating.
Wow, actually it's weird. Ro TP'd in, and then because he got bursted so low, his ult brought him all the way back to the top lane. So
man.
that's a bit awkward. Now Ghost will be able to bully him toward the turret. No kills in that engage. So we're gonna
But a
see
lot of
SAJ trying to
cooldowns
push
burned
up.
there.
Yeah. Curtain Call is actually still up though, and so is Ghost's ult. So if ever there's a fight in Dragon, they can take advantage of that. Hanyan actually didn't ult either. Oh!
Ooh, Warzone might be in a little bit of trouble here. Slowdown from the Ties of Blood will not be enough for Caspiel to catch up though. I mean, he's just staying in lane with the sustain that he has.
Yeah, so far things still looking
Oh,
even.
a gank there in the top lane. 13 Ghost gets bursted down, pushed away from Ro. The shield saves him. Now 13 Ghost is on the run, still in Mininar form. Not enough rage built up to go berserk.
Yeah, so that onslaught of shadows coming from Hanyan just in time to push this Gnar away from finalizing the kill onto Echo. Otherwise, it would have been a 1-for-1 trade, but they were able to secure that kill and give it to Echo. So he is able to get that Trinity Force, plus the Giant's Belt. So this is a really nice item spike for Echo, although Frozen Mallet's also up for Gnar.
Ooh, so they're going for the double Trinity Force here. Lots of damage when they do get that spike in the mid lane, but seems like Superior and the rest of Kuala Lumpur Hunters will trade that for the Ocean Drake. Tao and Celebrity will try and deter this.
They're
Very,
gonna be
very
a team fight.
dangerous. Ooh.
Yeah, so good response coming in from KLH. They saw that Hanyan was in top lane, so they immediately go for the Dragon, since they will have the numbers advantage. So good move from KLH to get the first DR. That's going to be Ocean Drake for KLH, which actually could help with their composition, since we did say during the pick and ban phase that they do have a pretty nice siege comp. So if ever they decide to go onto turrets, they will have the regeneration advantage against SAJ, especially since SAJ doesn't have any sustain of their own. They might be able to outlast and outpoke SAJ actually.
Hanyan, realizing the danger, backs off immediately upon seeing a Zoraveki. But yeah, you're right. That Ocean Drake will help them a lot later into the game, and because they're extending the laning phase, the value might actually hold that thought. Caspiel in a little bit of trouble, will have to tunnel over, but Warzone is there with a Ghost up. Sanguine Pool forces the flash. Oh, now 13 Ghosts is alone in their own territory, but Ro is split from the rest of the team. Well, 13 Ghost is actually fighting back. He is in Meganar with the rest of KLH backing him up from the sidelines. Maybe it'll be enough. Caspiel gets chunked down, but Superior's there. And now Zoraveki will just have to return to Team Hanyan says like, out of here! And Warzone has to get out of there.
Oh no!
Onslaught of Shadows in a bit too late, but that gets the kill onto Caspiel. Now 13 Ghosts. Ro gets taken down. Superior's in the front lines, allowing 13 Ghosts to jump over him and get the damage out. He gets exhausted, but that kill is finalized, and now Tao is in a little bit of trouble, has to run away. The concussive blows not affecting him before he flashed.
Yikes, 3 for 1. Exchange going in favor of KLH. So that was actually a pretty weird team fight because the strongest member on your team, which is Ash, she wasn't there the whole time. So pretty much during that fight, CC won out. And obviously Nar and Rek'Sai, they did have enough CC to be able to chase down the rest of the members. Plus, Hanyan was actually also very low. In fact, like you said, it looks like he was going to ditch the rest of his team with that recall, but he decides to stay just to use his ult and try to make it even. But still, that did go in favor of KLH.
There was no enchanted crystal arrow for the backup as well.
Yeah.
So that was a little opportunity lost by Saigon Jokers. So a little bit of chilling after that fight, but seems like both of these teams still want to fight around Vision, fight in the river. Oh, giving the red buff onto Celebrity, that'll help him with the trades and also match a little bit the regeneration coming from Ocean Drake, because the red buff does give us a wee bit of health regeneration if you don't know. That's why junglers, when you start red, you always seem to come out of your jungle a little healthier than if you started blue. But here comes, might be a fight to defend this bottom lane turret, but no jungler or mid laner coming from Saigon Jokers very soon, but now they're rotating bot.
Yeah, Enchanted Crystal Arrow is up for Celebrity, so if ever Hanyan decides to gank, his Ghost is coming up soon and he does have his ult as well, so they might be able to try and take bot lane. Infernal Dragon is going to come up next, so that could be very important when it does come up. But for now, in terms of turrets, SAJ is up ahead because of the lead that Echo has in that top lane.
They got a little bit of bonus gold from the first Blood Tower as well.
Yeah.
So that's a small lead to them. KLH, however, did get a little bit of momentum from the team fight, but the gold is still on the side of SAJ. But seeing as the laning phase is still not over, the Ocean Drake value for KLH is just going to get higher and higher, allowing Jin, allowing Cool Kitty and Azora Vecchi to just keep farming up.
That's very true. 21 minutes in and there's only one tower taken so far in this game. That's going to be a blue buff war. Who's going to win this? It's actually going to be Hanyan.
It's Hanyan. Was not able to give it to... Well, actually, I think he's the one that benefits the most. Warzone doesn't really need that mana. The value is not as good when it's on Tao because he's just a support.
Yeah.
Might be a little fight. No. He's like, oh, you saw me. Time to get out of here. Jigs up.
So we're going to see what they decide to do next. Echo moving over to top lane now to try and defend the wave. TP is up for both top laners, so we might see another explosive fight because Dragon is coming up in a minute and 30. And like we said, it is going to be the Infernal Drake. And this bot turret actually going to go uncontested. SAJ is going to take this one.
Yeah, and with a gold gain from that, they have a little bit of time to recall to base and get the items from that tower, maybe give them a little edge there in the dragon fight. But with that broken turret, Saigon Jokers have a little bit more map control there in the bot lane, allowing them to, say, set up a little bit easier there for the dragon fight.
Yeah, the vision from KLH is going to expire pretty soon, so SAJ can actually take advantage of that. They can remove the wards, set up since there's only 1 minute left. Vladimir, or Warzone on his Vladimir, starting to move to bot lane. And Ghost actually forced to stay here in this top lane because of the wave clear of Ro. He was able to push in that top lane wave. TP is up though. And Rek'Sai, he's going to be ulting in to try and set down vision for KLH on this Dragon.
They're really applying pressure in both the mid and bot lane to allow them to set up for this Infernal Drake. And that's understandable. This Infernal Drake is huge. Tao is not detected, but is he in the best position? He does get stunned and snared, and Azora Viking gets the kill. Hanyan is so low. Onslaught of Shadows actually lots of damage. Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits. Does not hit. And Caspian forced to tunnel out. Ro just keeps on going. Gets ghosted in. With the Chrono Break out, and 13 Ghost. Get a little bit of fight with Warzone, but he has a lot of sustain, allowing him to get this turret with the rest of his team. Yeah,
2 for 3 exchange in favor of SAJ. This is probably going to be either a mid-inner turret or a possible Dragon since it is live now. But that was a bit awkward since Sud was the one who got caught in that engage. Whoa!
Whoa, 13 goes going for it, but he might pay for it with his life. Ro has a lot of percent health damage, but no Chrono Break to bail him out now. Warzone is diving with a sustain. He can tank pretty well, plus he has a Sanguine Pool to help him out, get out of the turret aggro.
That's a freaking painful Ash right now. 3-0-1, he has the Runons and the Infinity Edge, so clearly He had an advantage throughout the team fight. I was a bit afraid for SAJ because Karma did get caught out, but in the end they were able to follow up. Although the Enchanted Crystal Arrow missed, it didn't really matter. Celebrity was able to free hit throughout the entire fight, and KLH, lacking the engage, they weren't able to lock down Ash, so she was pretty much free to deal damage. Infernal Drake goes over to SAJ.
Yeah, that's very true. Infernal Drake will be huge for Saigon Jokers. In the next fights, they have a gold lead. They have a 4K gold lead, plus the stats gained from Drat Dragon will allow them maybe to even snowball if they play their cards right. What KLH has to do, I think, is just keep on farming a little bit more for Cool Kitty to step up.
Yeah.
He has not gained any kills. He has his assassination items in Yomu's and the Duskblade, but with how Celebrity has been free hitting in these fights, it might be hard for him because usually in the past games they have, the combo goes like this: Cast Peel and their top Cast Peel and Superior will try and go for the front line, get the damage out, allowing Cool Kitty to just snipe from the back lines, relying on the damage of his team to close out and clean up. But right now, it seems like that's not working out for them. They have to fight on equal footing.
Oro.
Where are you going? Does not get snared. The Duskblade actually pops and is a waste for a few minutes.
Actually, Ro is such a big problem in this game.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Ro against the rest of KLH, there's no one that can 1v1 Ro at this point. He's pretty much pushing Gnar away from laning with him. And he does have a pretty nice CS lead. He has the Trinity Force plus the Dead Man's Blade, so he's going to be chasing the hell out of anyone who decides to go up the lane with him. So in terms of sieging, KLH has actually never had a chance to siege in this game. Because every time there's a situation, there's never a situation where Ghost is pushing the lane in his advantage. Ro is always able to push in the lane. It forces Gnar to pretty much just sit in lane and try to push in the same rate, but obviously that's not happening, and so KLH is forced to hog their turrets because of the wave clear from SAJ.
This situation is pretty much Kobayashi Maru for KLH. Both options lead to losing conditions if they don't play it right. If they get all of their members to try and get Ro, he can just get out. He has the mobility coming from the Dead Man's Plate plus his own Chrono Break to bail him out, while that leaves Saigon Jokers to just push out the other lane. Exactly. On the other hand, if they try to force a 5v4, Ro will be there in like 5 seconds for the teleport. So
exactly.
They really need to find an opening. They have to wait for Saigon Jokers to make a mistake. They have been diving, so that's where they should look for an opening.
Yeah, because right now, looking at the items, clearly Celebrity and Warzone are ahead. They have pretty much almost 3 items, an item lead against their opponent because Azora Vecchi hasn't finished the Lich Bane. Oh wait, Curtain Call.
Where is it going to? There seems to be a fight in the bot lane, but no, it's just to clear the wave and prevent Warzone from pushing it further, but that is a huge cooldown.
Yeah.
That's one of the tools that they usually use, and they're now using it defensively.
Yeah.
So that means KLH has their backs to the wall, even with only a 6k gold lead in the hands of Saigon Jokers.
And it's actually a bit weird because the Kuala Lumpur Hunters don't have a reliable form of engage to be able to start fights. And there's going to be one here.
There's going to be one here indeed. Ro going to front line, but that's a gravity well. Plus the Chaos Storm pushing them away. But the red turret has been destroyed. Celebrity was free to hit that.
Wow, free turret pretty much.
Free turret, but that could have gone a lot worse if they stayed longer.
Yeah.
13 Ghosts might actually be able to trade a turret here, but that's an outer turret for an inner turret. And what you said was true. They don't have a form of reliable engage. It actually has been the trend in their previous games in this GPL group stage. Usually, they just rely on the slow coming from Curtain Call plus the combined damage of the mid laner and the bot and the jungler to dish out these team fights. But right now, they have their backs to the wall, so they really need to step up.
Yeah, I feel like having these losing lanes for all 3 lanes was really the thing that shut down KLH. Because in the Echo Gnar matchup, Echo is usually the one who wins for some reason after they're able to secure the Trinity Force. Pretty much Echo's set. I mean, pre-6, Gnar's able to get a good trade, but after that, Echo pretty much wins the matchup. And then Victor and Vlad, obviously no one wins there unless the junglers intervene, and gladly Hanian was the one who was able to gank more efficiently than Rek'Sai, because Caspiel, to be honest, he hasn't really been able to have any successful ganks throughout this game. It hasn't really been that impactful, and his laners, I mean, aside from Victor, no one else is happy on the team because Victor's the only one sitting on a positive KDA.
That's true, and that's what they've been relying on for so long, is to have Caspiel pop off Cool Kitty, but now Cool Kitty's just sitting on 70 CS behind Celebrity plus 0 kills. So it's going to be really difficult for them to do what they usually want to do.
Exactly.
So they're being forced into unfamiliar territory here because Kuala Lumpur Hunters, Superior is in a dangerous spot here, but he does have the Unbreakable, and they don't want to get through that wall just right now. But they are almost all converging here in the top lane. The next fight will probably be a dive coming from Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you though. Like, this is very unfamiliar to KLH because in the games that they've won, Cool Kitty is always the one who like gets off on his Jhin and then like shoots everyone down high noon time. But
360 no scope.
Yeah, but in this game it's so different because even with these two items, he's not able to lock anyone down. Again, like I said, with a lack of reliable engage, Celebrity is just having the time of his life. He's sitting on almost 4 items in this game at 30 minutes in, and there's no one that really is proving a threat to this Ashe. You can pretty much just free hit throughout the game, and there's also no threat onto Echo. Echo's just pushing any lane he wants, and then no one can lock him down, no one can kill him. So KLH is in a very awkward position where the only way that they can get back in the game is if SAJ makes a mistake and KLH gets a nice 5v5 team fight, because KLH obviously has a very nice team fight. They have a Gnar, and then they have the Victor and the Jhin, so they have pretty nice 5v5. The problem is SAJ keeps forcing situations where it's not a 5v5. You know, Ro is always split pushing in another lane, and then SAJ is on another lane to try and threaten them to do 1-4 as well, which is not the best thing for KLH because they can't do 1-4 with this very threatening Echo.
That's true. If they split up, they'll just get divided and conquered by SAJ. And Celebrity does a little bit of positioning there, but gets away nicely. Now Warzone wants actually to fight. The teleport is coming from Ro. Will this be the fight that will decide the game? Warzone flashes in. A lot of damage onto Azora Veki. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow only hits 13 ghosts, but look at Warzone just 1v4ing, splitting up the team, allowing Tao and Ro to get Caspiel and allowing Celebrity to go for the rest of the team. Now Ro is going for Superior. Cool Kitty is just a flash and strike away. One last shot. Does not get stunned. He is going to go for the Chrono Break, but this opens up maybe the wave and probably the turret for the rest of SAJ.
Yeah, 1-for-3 exchange in favor of SAJ, and we saw KLH couldn't do anything. Like, that was a full health Ro throughout the entire fight, and the only time he received damage was when he was being hit by the turret pretty much. But any other time, he's pretty much free to just approach anyone he wants and dive on them. And KLH, you know, they're pretty lost at the moment. They're not really sure what to do, especially since it looks like their damage isn't doing much because there are too many threats in this game. Even if you're able to delete Warzone, Celebrity, Hanyan, and Ro, you have to delete 3 other people, and that's so overwhelming for KLH right now.
And Warzone is just doing so much damage in the background. You saw him there splitting up the team, and like I said, allowing SAJ to divide and conquer. The Tides of Blood doing so much, even with the Unbreakable present there. Actually, no, he bypassed Superior, going straight behind the shield. So it's really difficult for them, especially with the 2 Infernal Drakes that they have right now.
Yeah, I mean, looking at KLH, it looks like if they can't win the lane, then it becomes very hard for them to win the game. Because they don't seem to be able to set vision where it's necessary, and their team fights also, they're not really able to do what they need to do. They look like they're having a very hard time. Although it's not out yet, despite this 10,000 gold lead, that does become a bit more irrelevant as the game progresses because Victor and Jhin will eventually get their item spikes. It's very slow. Like, Victor doesn't have, you know, his 4th item yet, and neither does Jhin. So I don't know. Things in terms of scaling, KLH looks very slow, and SAJ are clearly taking advantage of that.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Oh, Tao is going to get engaged on the kill, gets picked off, but will they have enough momentum for this to get an objective? The mid turret, the mid outer turret is still up though. They have that if they can pick off Tao, but that's just a
Whoa!
support. It looks like Hanyan is still fearless. Caspiel is nowhere there to frontline. Celebrity
my.
gets all those free hit superiors. The shield is not enough to defend his team. Caspiel is the next target. 13 Ghosts just arriving and not in Meganar. No chance for him to counter engage. Celebrity is just going for it, and now Ro is frontlining for his team. Wow, that was just, they just run over KLH right now with their stats and their Baron buff.
Yeah, like everyone's just riding on Hanyan the horsey.
Ro is so fearless, just going in. He still has his chrono break. Does it right there. Ghost now only getting Mega Gnar. The Gnar is not enough, does not get them to a wall, and this opens up the base. Caspiel too slowed down. Celebrity popping off. Look at the damage on that inhibitor. And they're now going straight actually for the Nexus turrets. No one is up for 5 seconds. That's just Cool Kitty though. That's the turret destroyed. It seems like they're still going for it with that little bit of caster minions, but now they know they have to leave. They don't want to make a mistake here.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's just SAJ riding on Hanyan the horsey. Like, they just all get on him and then just roll over KLH pretty much for the rest of the team fight. Like I said, because of the lack of engage that KLH, no one can deal with Celebrity. He's just free hitting the whole time.
Look at this. It's just nothing. He just walks up to it and then pew, 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 pew,
yeah,
pew.
that's pretty much it. Like, KLH, I mean, Celebrity is just a walking death machine. Like, no one kills him. He's got all his items. You know?
Yeah,
he
he's the
doesn't
walking
even
death
need
machine.
to complete that maw because Victor poses no threat whatsoever.
And on the other hand, Hanyan is the running death machine, just
Yeah.
ramming everything in his path.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he gets that kill. He gets the inhibitor. Hanyan is there. 13 goes into Mega Gnar, but that might not be enough. It's definitely not enough. The Sanguine Pool has been burnt, but that's not going to matter because they're just taking down the Nexus turret. Oh! Celebrity finally goes down. It takes the Fountain Laser to get him, but it seems like that will be the Nexus for Saigon Jokers unless KLH gets a miracle defense here, but with all the damage coming from the minions, coming from the heroes, they will get it.
Yeah, so GG well played coming from SAJ. That was a great job from them to really dominate this game. And you know, it makes you worry because, again, to the viewers out there, this has no bearing on who's going to enter the semifinals. It's just for seeding. So now it's going to be SAJ being first place, and then we'll take a look at the tiebreakers later on if ever there are any. But you know, it makes you worry because if these two teams are possibly the two strongest teams in the league, and SAJ dominates that game so freaking hard, then it makes you wonder who has the ability to defeat SAJ. But BKT did defeat them in the previous game, so maybe they'll be able to show up during the semifinals. But let's take a look at the endgame screen.
Look at Celebrity, 9, 1, and 5. He's just so well protected, and the fact that you said Column Per Hunters did not have a good engage.
Yeah,
they were relying too much on what they knew, and when they were pushed into unfamiliar ground, they floundered.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I'm looking forward to KLH rebounding from that game, but look at the damage from Celebrity. He was able to do 32,000 damage, and actually, it wasn't even obvious that Victor was able to deal this much damage in team fights. Probably a lot of it went over to Warzone because he was always the one who was going ahead of the rest of the team to die and everything. But yeah, despite the damage he was able to deal, pretty much no objectives aside from Dragon for the side of KLH. Hopefully, they're able to do much better during the semifinals, but SAJ just looking like a very dominating team.
Very good job, and that was the third game for the Garena Premier League Summer 2016. We'll be moving on to the fourth to fifth games with Garena Sam, but for now we have been your shoutcasters. I am Atlas, and with me is
Amplifier.
Thank you for watching. 13 Ghosts is alone in their own territory, but